Take a look at the New York Times hardcover nonfiction bestseller list. Everybody in the publishing world studies this list. At number 2 this week is Hillary Clinton's memoir, Hard Choices. Now scroll up. Look at what's at number 1. It's another book about the Clintons, Blood Feud by Ed Klein. Blood Feud purports to be about this. President Obama and the Clintons hate each other. But here's the thing. To call it poorly sourced is a compliment. A lot of the book passages honestly sound too crazy to be true. Like when Klein claims that one of Hillary Clinton's arguments with the president turned physical, with her jabbing him in the chest. Normally, we wouldn't even be repeating these kinds of allegations, not when there's no evidence for them and lots of evidence against them. We're only talking about it here on Reliable Sources to explore the lack of fact-checking on a book that's selling like hotcakes. So with that in mind, let me bring in someone who has read the book and written about it, Dave Weigel, a political reporter for Slate. Dave, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Tell me what Blood Feud is all about.
Blood Feud is a version of the last couple of years of relationships between the Clintons and the Obamas. This is the latest in a series of Ed Klein books.
You've called them Clinton hate books.
Clinton fan fiction, I think I've also called them, where there are characters who definitely resemble the former Secretary of State, the current president, and they get into situations that are combinations of facts reported elsewhere and verified, and stories that are reported with great detail that Ed Klein could not have personally seen. He'll report on the body language in rooms where maybe a friend was present, sometimes where no one else is present.
Right.
And will claim at the end of the book that he has 200, it's usually around 200 sources, he claims, in spiral notebooks under deep cover that swore to him up and down that this all happened.
Yeah, and most of the press has avoided detailing what's in the book because most of the press doesn't believe a lot of this stuff. Is that the right decision to basically ignore it even though it's number 1 on this bestseller list?
I think it is, because what is the point of re-reporting something even, which would normally be the response, right? If there's a story from Game Change, which also uses a lot of anonymous sources, a lot of political books use anonymous sources, you can go and suss out and report what happened. In this, there'll be a description of something that happened in a room that contained the president and his wife, and maybe where the president and Valerie Jarrett, no one else. We know that Ed Klein did not personally get them for the book. He would say so. And if you can't verify it in any other way, if the guy has a record of making stuff up, it's not an assumption you want to make as a journalist, but it's an assumption you have to go with.
Let me read what he said to the New York Times, which wrote about this on Friday. He said, quote, "I don't make this stuff up. The quotes come from sources who were present when the statements were made or who were told about the statements shortly after they were made." Then let me read what I thought was an amazing quote from a spokesman for Mrs. Clinton. He said, "Let's strap Ed Klein to a polygraph machine and let the needle do the talking." Rarely have I seen Clinton's camp come out so forcefully like that.
Well, they feel like they've bested Ed Klein before. And the organization that exists to support Hillary Clinton if she runs for president are giving this less attention than they've given other Ed Klein projects. This time they've just kind of pointed to the evidence of the past and dismissed the guy, which I think indicates, one, that they feel that they have moved on from this. 2, they don't really mind when the opposition to Hillary Clinton is seen as ludicrous. I mean, the Clintons have sometimes been at their best when their opposition has been trying to impeach them.
They may think it helps them.
Oh, absolutely.
And one more thing we should point out, Hard Choices has overall sold more copies. This book, Blood Feud, came out more recently. The Clinton camp, or rather their allies, have been aggressive about saying Hard Choices is a hit,
right.
Even though it hasn't sold as well as maybe some people expected it to. So there has been that tension recently. But let's get to the issue of why a book like this does sell so well, why it does hit number 1 on the Times bestseller list. What is it about a book like this that you think is so attractive to some conservatives?
Well, it feels true. If you read some of the reviewing in the conservative media, not a lot. Ed Klein's not taken that seriously. There is a sense that the Clintons are probably like this, the Obamas are probably like this. They know that the media, the liberal media that we are on right now, and basically most of the media that's not outwardly conservative, they assume they're lying and they're covering for the guy. So if it's believable that they cover for him on Benghazi, believable they cover for him on the IRS, it's believable they covered this up. I would not ascribe that to the mainstream, but that's enough to sell a lot of books. A lot of people who think the media is hiding the truth from them.
Do you worry that by even dismissing the book, by talking about it but dismissing it as we're doing, it still gives the book more publicity? It still gives the book more weight? This was even a debate in one of CNN's editorial meetings about this book. Should we be talking about it at all?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that bubbles up from the fringe that if you don't cover it is going to get covered anyway because of the way media is been established. The media doesn't have that role anymore in determining what people get to talk about.
Dave Weigel, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.